What's going on, my super fam, and welcome back to our weekly news. I hope you guys have had a very wonderful start of the year. And as usual in this video, guys, we'll be going through some of the most updated news within the Genshin community, or basically news related to Genshin. And of course, we'll be reacting to some very good memes and Reddit posts at the end of the video as well. So guys, without further ado, let's just hop right in. Now, as you have seen from the title of the video, one of the biggest news we're discussing today is regarding, kind of like the gacha ban regulation recommendation that have been happening within China, because indeed this is a very huge one that is directly related to Genshin Impact. I'm sure most of us have already known for the past month, there have been recommendations of the rules that aims to curb in-game purchases and prevent obsessive gaming behavior. Now, in response to the draft legislation, shares in major tech companies, including companies like Tencent, which is one of the biggest gaming company in China, has experienced a sharp decline, wiping off tens of billions of dollars in values. Now, the restrictions extends the previous 2021 rulings, which is suggesting to prohibit online games from incentives that encourage excessive playing and spending, like daily rewards or first-time purchases bonus, or having gacha not available for minors is being recommended. All of this has been pretty much a huge deal for almost the past month, and we're still looking out for more news. And of course, more news we are going to be having today. But now China has just removed an official after video games rule sparked turmoil. For as you have known, days after just the recommendation with this regulation came out, Tencent and NetEase, basically two of the biggest gaming companies in China, their share value just basically plummeted. And so right after that, Mr. Feng Shixin here was basically removed last week from his position as the head of the publishing unit. So basically, from what Reuters here is saying, the head official who is overseeing the national press of China and publication administration that in turn regulate China's vast video game sector was basically removed for having made the share of the two biggest game companies in China losing up to 80 billions in market share values, and that is a pretty big deal. Now, there aren't really too much of an official information because they are declining to answer further questions regarding to this. So we technically still need to wait until the 22nd of January in order to know the final conclusions of everything regarding this recommended regulation involving gacha games. While for me personally, I do kind of hope that this regulation won't be implemented, because definitely it would hugely affect the quality of Genshin Impact being made. But at this point in time, I just have to say that Hoyoverse is doing an amazing job creating everything regarding Genshin, because the story, the world creation, the characters, the music, everything is being invested so much into making this incredible games. And if any new regulations that comes in and make it pretty much harder for Hoyoverse to create Genshin, it would affect the quality tremendously, and I don't know how much of a change in direction this would cause the game. And I fear that the quality we see would be a lot less than how it is currently expected to go. Now, of course, currently it is a gacha game, so I know that for free-to-play player, it can be usually harder to get the character that we want to go for. However, from the way we've been doing with free-to-play, we've been working on, saving with walk-ins and skipping characters that we don't really like in order to get our most favorite character. It has been a way we're going forward for the past 3 years, and I do feel that it does work. So yeah, we don't actually know the true conclusion until the 22nd, and hopefully if they do make any new regulation, it is not going to be too harsh on the gacha games and the gaming company in China overall, because as we have seen, just one big regulation recommendation like this, big company have been losing billions of dollars overnight. So yeah guys, basically I'll keep you guys up to date within all this, but I do hope that everything will turn out to be the better. Now, talking about free to play, I actually found a pretty interesting post dividing the categories of free-to-play players on Hoyo Lab from the user 0Sizo9, and from his experience, there have been 3 major categories for free-to-play player: the miners, the Abyss Conqueror, and the Pokemon Trainer. And from my experience, I do feel that this is quite true. For the miners are those who have the disciplines to go for a C6 character of their favorite, and yes, as you have guessed it, basically their accounts only comprise of all 4 stars, and they technically would only have one C6 R1 character because they basically save all of their primo gems from the very start, or they kind of like a player who creates multiple accounts, and on this specific account they just save all of their primo gems and try to go for a C6 character while using their 4 star before then to actually clear out the abyss. These guys have very good skills because yes, we already know how hard of a challenge it is to actually just use 4 star character with 4 star weapon in order to clear the abyss, since even so, if you only have 4 stars without max C6 constellation, it is still pretty hard to clear the abyss. So yes, these guys have skills. Next is the Abyss Conquerors. These players basically only save primo gems to pull for the meta characters, or in other words, character that helps them in order to clear all of the abyss for them. You know, mostly going for Archons and as well as going for character C2s in order to have that edge in terms of every renewal abyss and clear it out. And for the Pokemon trainer, while they are basically very much free to play casual players, because yes, these players won't be saving up much and they're just going to be using their primo gems whenever they have 10 pulls and go for the newest character on the banner. It doesn't matter if they lose or win, they're just going it for the fun. And while on top of those 3 categories, there is a little bit of another type where it goes for the Dora Explorer. These guys are the ones who are 100% maps. I do feel that most free-to-play player would try and go for 100% maps, but there are also many of us out there who wouldn't really have the time to 100% that also. So yeah, it will probably be mostly a mix. Now of course, you absolutely don't need to be just in one category, and you can definitely be in 2 categories. For example, your Dora Explorer as well as a miner. But yeah, I believe that some of you won't agree altogether to this list as well, which is totally fine, but I do feel that this is quite accurate because yeah, from doing YouTube, I have seen a lot of free-to-play players who are in these categories, where of course I myself don't fit into any of these because I am no free-to-play player. But if there were, I'll probably be a Pokemon trainer because I generally try to go for all of the new characters, of course, in order to also make content for you guys. Now, the new 4.3 Abyss has its fair share of difficulties, but while many of the players have also been able to clear that as well, and we currently have some of the numbers regarding the character usage of patch 4.3 here. Overall, I do feel that the S and S Plus tier are more of just basically which team you are going to be putting the characters in, and they're just ranking these characters based on the percentage of being used. So generally speaking, if you do have any of these characters within, you know, like the AS or S Plus tier, you can technically try and put them into a team according to which half you're going for, and they should be able to do very well. Now, talking about character list, here's a quick list of the 4-star character appearance on the banner list by Rapid Fresh, and as you can see, Goro, Xinjiang, Ningguang, Layla, Kaveh are some of the characters that haven't been back for quite a while. The number indicates how many patches they haven't been back, and of course we know that Goro obviously only go with Ito most of the time. If I'm not mistaken, he only have appeared on Ito's banner actually, which is why it's been 9 patches since Goro last appeared. So definitely this little guy won't be coming back until we see an Ito banner. However, regarding Lantern's Rite patch, who knows, maybe we'll be seeing Xinjiang, Ningguang and Yunjin a little bit earlier than we might expect. So thank you Rapid Fresh for doing this. That does give us a pretty good indication of which 4-star character to expect down the line. Now of course, Lantern Rite event is almost here because yes, Lunar New Year is just right around the corner, and there have been some pretty fun memes regarding 2024 ever since it started. Whereas, do you know Natlan is expected to be released this year and is the Nation of Dragons, whereas the year 2024 is the Year of Dragon according to the Chinese. Now I don't know if this is a coincidence or Hoyoverse is just an absolute god in terms of planning everything out, because definitely it's just a perfect fit for the Year of Dragons. However, 2024 is not the only surprise we get, because surprise Bennett is finally going to be having his very first birthday ever since Genshin was released. Thank God his birthday finally came. I can see that this is going to be a pretty huge birthday party for the guy, because it's kind of like celebrating 4 birthdays in one go ever since the game was released. So it won't come until the end of February, but let's see what kind of memes we'll be getting regarding Bennett Bennett running up to his birthday. Now, talking about interesting information, we're having one hell of a family tree right here because yes, if you are a newer player, definitely this is going to confuse the heck out of you. For technically speaking, this is Albedo's family tree. For if you've done a little bit of story quests regarding Albedo, you would have heard of the name Daughter. Now, I'm not someone who have been looking too in depth into the lore, so yes, there have been many things I actually forgot regarding a lot of things in the Genshin Impact world, but this actually have been interesting for me too because I didn't know that the Golden Wolf Lord was something created by Daughter as well, and now that we have seen Albedo's actually uncles to the Melusines. But while yeah, since we know that Daughter is quote-unquote creating, they're probably not going to be blood related, right? But this is a pretty good tree that have been drawn so that we have a consolidated idea of everything that just happened in the Genshin Impact world and give you a little bit more information if you do really love Albedo, the Melusines, and obviously want to find out more about Daughter. Moving on, we have some really good memes addition within the previous week on Reddit as well. Starting off, we have an absolutely perfect cosplay of Wagner. Oh my god, I usually don't get into, you know, male characters, but this guy's just definitely crush it in terms of character cosplay. Dude, this literally Wagner in real life. You can't deny that. Thumbs up to this, definitely nailed it. Now let's go back to shrimping on female character cosplays. Now, if you think that Bennetts Birthday was actually a rare thing, I'll be giving you something even rarer than that, Aloy mains. Because yes, this did actually kind of blew up on Reddit, capturing quite a lot of attention, since during co-op we actually got to witness an Aloy main with the names of literally Aloy Enthusiast. So I would say that basically congratulations to those of you who are Aloy's mains out there, because definitely this is not a sight we see every single day, and I'm really glad that the player is actually enjoying a character of their choice, even though it kind of sucks that Aloy doesn't have access to, you know, greater options like constellations. But since if you are enjoying the character, you should be having fun with them anyway. Talking about rare editions, there's also something absolutely rare that happened as well, because indeed, what are the exact chances of you getting two identical artifacts in one farming? So while those of you who are math enthusiasts out there, I give you some math problem today. If you don't have anything else to do in school, you can try and go and calculate the probability of this happening, because while I'm not someone who is good at math and it would probably take me forever or get it wrong if I actually try and tackle this, I leave this to you. Now, if you're someone who actually think that the Knights of Favonus is one of the weakest military in all of these 7 nations, then I beg you to think twice, because while whenever they are in compete, their knights are going to be holding these weapon series. And oh, what do you know? They have access to basically the most broken 4-star support list in the whole of Genshin Impact, the Favonus weapon series. Yes, it actually named the Favonus weapon series as well. Definitely in direct competition with the SAC series as well, but I do feel that the Favonus series does have a slight edge because more character would be able to make better use of this. But yeah, while imagine the Knights of Favonius go into battle with all their knights holding onto this, you just see that their knights is spamming their bursts over and over and over again. Wow, so imagine there was basically 100 Bennetts there on the field. Your knights are going to have infinite healing going on. Next, this is more of a PC info, or more specifically for those of you who is using Nvidia graphic cards, because guys, definitely you are able to make your Genshin look a lot better with Nvidia filters. Just have a look into this post where yes, with the use of Nvidia filters, you're able to make the world in Genshin looks a lot clearer and a lot more detailed. From how you have seen, the world of Genshin Impact is a little bit foggy. I know that the aim of it is for, you know, immersion and make the world feels a lot bigger than it seems, but I do have to say that Genshin Impact just puts in a little bit too much fog for my taste. So I am someone who does use Nvidia graphic cards, and I have been using this Nvidia filter for a long time, making my Genshin Impact look a lot better with some of the example I'm sharing on screen right here. To activate this, it's pretty simple guys. You just press Alt Z on your keyboard, access the Nvidia filter, go to add and find the detailed options. Put everything to 0% except for clarity, pump that up to 100%, and oh my god guys, you're basically playing in a new Genshin Impact world, because after I have been playing with this, I cannot go back and looking at the Genshin world with so much fog. Now some of you may be wondering if this is illegal or not, and I would definitely say it is, because we're not making any changes into the game itself. It's more like an adjustment toward your PC monitor itself, like you're basically changing the setting, you know, of sharpness or color changes toward your monitor, and you're not directly changing anything to the game file, so it should be perfectly fine. Therefore, if you are using an Nvidia graphic card, just go ahead and try this out, because I'm sure you will love it. So guys, that should be everything I have regarding this weekly news 4 edition. I hope that it has been very fun and have some valuable information for you. If you do have any questions or recommendations or have anything to share, just leave it down in the comment sections, as I would love to discuss it there. If you are new to the channel guys, don't forget to subscribe, as I have a lot of new Genshin guides and news on the channel for you guys to enjoy. I really appreciate you guys sticking with me till this part of the video guys, and with that I wish you a super day, and I will catch you on my next video.